Splash Mountain has been changed and the animatronics going in, they are few, but they are also fancy. Yet, folks, if you fancy Frontierland and visiting the way that Walt imagined that land being, you better go right now because, folks, we're here to tell you the Frontierland of yesteryear is going away. The Frontierland of today changing swiftly, and Tom Sawyer may be on the way out. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. We are happy to have everybody out there joining us on yet another beautiful day as we continue our exploration of explaining entertainment and keeping you ahead of the culture curve. Joining us today is Vash Sky of That Park Place. Vash, welcome back, sir.
Well, happy to be back, sir. I do appreciate you having me. This is a particularly interesting topic that, it has real ramifications for the future of not only just Frontierland at the Magic Kingdom, but perhaps the Magic Kingdom itself.
Absolutely. And Vash, you've been featured more often on the channel because, folks, we are getting ready to incorporate Vash into a full-fledged member of the team, not just a co-anchor of That Park Place, but absolutely blasting out great information nonstop. Vash, you've been doing an awesome job, and I am so excited that we just announced the other day that you will be the director of the new That Park Place podcast online channel. T3PO is the name of that channel, folks, and Vash will be the director of it, providing you even more excellence in covering the parks and so much more. All right, let's get to the story today, folks. This is out of Mickey Views. Braden, of course, is the guy who runs that. Sir Braden, if you wish, on X. And Sir Braden, we're big fans of Braden. He says, if you're going to Magic Kingdom soon, it may be your last chance to check out the fort on Tom Sawyer's, and perhaps Tom Sawyer's in general. Allegedly, of course. Then we go to Jim Shull, a former Imagineer at Disney. He says, image from Bayou Reconstruct. And by the way, we give our very best to Bayou Reconstruct, the channel. We know there's been some health issues in the past, and it is our deepest desires that good health be on the way to that, the individuals behind it. But image from Bayou Reconstruct of behind Thunder Mountain. Yellow arrow points to the trailer area where I had an office. The blue arrow points to the location where my guess is that the Walt Disney Company will build a Magic Kingdom hotel similar to Fantasy Springs at Tokyo Disneyland. All right, now, Vash, there are some changes here from what we had heard in the past, and it's starting to make a lot of sense about what's going on. First of all, Vash, Disney announced quite a while ago that they were going to do this big Beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad expansion, and then the stuff that they had shown us in the concept art, well, it got shifted over to Animal Kingdom. And it was like, okay, well, this was a bunch of nonsense. Apparently, they're still planning to do Beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, despite the massive infrastructure issues that this is going to have to, they're going to have to resolve this, right? It's a huge amount of work to get guests into this area. We can explain why, but folks, just suffice to say, it's tough to get pathways over to this area. And the change here, Vash, is that, Vash, do you remember early last year, I was reporting on a rumor that they were going to build a hotel that was going to connect with Adventureland?
Yes, do you remember that?
So that was what we had heard was possibly on the way, and that it was going to be a very expensive luxury hotel, the nicest hotel ever built on Disney World property. Let me go ahead and show you sort of what we're talking about on that. If we go to Google Earth here, folks, and we go down, this is the area that we had heard was going to be receiving that hotel. And then to the east of that was going to be an Adventureland expansion, okay? So in this area. Now what they're going to attempt to do, apparently, is somehow get guests into this area up here. And when they do, they apparently, allegedly, they want to do that because they're going to put a hotel right here and connect it directly to the park. So this is the same idea, Vash, only it has been changed from the southwest side of Magic Kingdom to the northwest side of the Magic Kingdom. So changes happen in the plans that they are going with at Disney. And in this case, folks, you, I guess, originally heard about this hotel potentially connecting to Magic Kingdom. First here on this channel, they've moved the location from there to here, but it's still basically the same idea. Vash, what do you make of this idea, though, that they're going to attempt still to do Beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad expansion? It's going to be very expensive, and it's going to require a lot of infrastructure work to get there. folks, we'll talk about Tom Sawyer Island in just a moment because it's part of that. But Vash, your thoughts on this as you hear?
Yeah, I mean, it is going to require a lot of maneuvering, a lot of infrastructural work. Beyond that, obviously, there are connective waterways and habitats that need to be relocated, infrastructural operations that need to be changed. I know Disneyland, it was very they had to upend quite a bit to get Galaxy's Edge into the place that it is currently at the Disneyland Resort. And interestingly enough, they had to shorten up Tom Sawyer's Island. We'll get to that in a moment, I'm sure. But a lot of like the backstage stuff, like the I believe there was a dance hall and a couple of maintenance operations. The ranch had to be relocated for the horses that pull carriages on Main Street. They actually shipped those in every single day and out to facilitate that attraction. So a lot had to be done here. Had to be done in that instance. Here, I predict the same. Now, interestingly enough, your Adventureland hotel rumor doesn't necessarily say that that's not going to happen eventually. But it looks like the focus for right now, because they're having to do so much work in this area, has shifted up to the north, and so that makes a lot of sense from an operations point of view, and from just a infrastructural cost and management point of view.
So Vash, I've got a theory on why they changed it from the Adventureland expansion that we talked about, which would have connected with the hotel, to now
Please.
a Frontierland expansion, which will connect with a hotel, and
Right.
that is, Vash, that when we first heard this rumor, it was and came from a very solid source. We don't report these things without great sources. They were talking about that it was going to be an Encanto themed area. Well, Encanto was then sent to Animal Kingdom, right? So we know Encanto is coming to Animal Kingdom basically now. I don't think they've announced that, but it's coming to Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
And I think that when they moved Encanto to Animal Kingdom, they no longer needed Encanto to be part of Adventureland. You can't make Villains area go down here if that's what they're going to do. They had to find some other IP to connect this with. I don't know what they've come up with, but I think once Encanto was removed from the Adventureland expansion idea and moved to Animal Kingdom, that blew up that idea. And so here we go with the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad idea. Does that sound fair, Vash?
I think so. And look, a connected hotel makes a lot of sense from a revenue standpoint. I mean, that would be the number one hotel immediately out the door, just based on its proximity to the most popular theme park in the world, essentially.
Well, a hotel that you can literally enter the Magic Kingdom,
Right.
which is the most difficult park in the world to enter.
Yes.
It is a 30-minute minimum, probably 1 hour experience of getting into Magic Kingdom. The idea that, I mean, this would be far better than a monorail hotel. I mean, you can literally just walk in the Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
You'd have a security checkpoint, and you'd have this VIP entrance on the backside of Frontierland. But Vash, one of the dangers here is that Frontierland is going to have to go away as we know it in order to do this. And so what Braden is saying, and what we're hearing this now too, is that Pecos Bills may be turned into a Tiana's, not Bayou Adventure, but instead
Tiana's
some
Palace.
sort of Mardi Gras, Tiana's Palace idea, and that Frontierland would essentially end with Country Bears, which we're hearing is going to be fine, the upgrade they're doing there, and then that Big Thunder Mountain Railroad would suddenly be part of some sort of far American Southwest idea that's not necessarily directly connected with Frontierland anymore, and maybe Tiana's is some sort of New Orleans Square idea. I mean, it's getting convoluted, but we've seen what they did with Epcot, so I'm not surprised by convoluted anymore. But Vash, one of the things that Braden is reporting, and we've heard the same. Well, I know this part. Disney does not. Disney property, they no longer care for Tom Sawyer. It has issues in their mind. Doesn't matter that Walt loved it. Doesn't matter that Mark Twain is one of the greatest American authors of all time. They don't like Tom Sawyer. They don't like Huckleberry Finn. They surely don't like Injun Joe. And there's other stuff they don't like that we're not going to mention here. It's not going to shock me at all if the entire island's purpose is gone and if it's used as a way to navigate to this new land. But I think Tom Sawyer Island is going away. And I think that's losing something because of all the things you can do in Magic Kingdom today. Tom Sawyer Island is really one of the last places you can go to get away and feel like you're going to a rest and relaxation area, a place of real leisure, as Walt originally imagined the park. So, Vash, give me your thoughts on the idea that Tom Sawyer Island will be just totally removed.
I think it's tragic. I think, I mean, this goes back to, Disneyland's version of Tom Sawyer Island and how it was one of the only attractions specifically designed by Walt himself. There's some great napkin drawings and so forth about what he wanted for Tom Sawyer Island. I think he thought it was really important that kids themselves have a place to play, kind of a safe place that's removed from everybody else. To get rid of that, to get rid of such a cultural institution like that within the Magic Kingdom, I think it's devastating. And we're also hearing some other, things like the shooting gallery goes away in favor
shooting
of
gallery's
DVC.
gone. They're getting rid of it.
Yep. I
don't know, but I want to give some pushback there, Vash. I'm hearing
Please.
from sources that it may not be for DVC. Don't know. That's Disney Vacation Club, folks. But
right,
they're getting rid of the shooting arcade.
They're getting
going bye-bye.
We know they're getting rid of it. The question is what's going to be on the other side, if there is anything at all. But Tom Sawyer Island, and this is the unfortunate thing too. Originally when we heard these Beyond Big Thunder plans, like you were saying about Frontierland and the themes beyond that, it felt like, okay, maybe they're moving the kind of the Southwest Frontierland-ish theme, to the north, and then you have Encanto and Kocho to kind of fill out, and then you have your Villains Land here. It seems like that plan has changed, and with that, how you're going to get to the other side here, it sounds to me like they might be filling in all of Rivers of America potentially for an expansion beyond Big Thunder. And I think that's also a tragic thing too. I think that's also a shame, to get rid of some iconic elements like the Liberty Bell, for example, to get rid of all of Tom Sawyer's Island, to fill that area in. Look, I know I've seen a 50-year long-range plan. This was quite a while ago. This was like more than a decade ago. But I remember seeing it and seeing that Rivers of America wasn't on there because of operational concerns with it. Obviously, they had to, maintain the Liberty Bell on a regular cadence because it is a watercraft, right? You had to have connective tissue in order to maintain the infrastructure connected to that attraction. Obviously, there isn't as much river traffic as we experience at Disneyland. Y'all don't have Fantasmic, so operationally, it makes sense in the mind of somebody operating these parks. Oh, well, let's go ahead and get rid of all these things. We can open this area up, and this is our expansion pad on the west side. But I think Rivers of America, that's what makes the west side what it is.
Yeah, it's a horrible idea to remove Rivers of America. I mean, not everything can be just drilled down to money. I'm sorry. The idea that you're going to take that away is going to really damage the way that area looks, and I don't anticipate that they're going to spend the kind of money, Vash, that we would see Tokyo Disney spend, where if Tokyo Disney was in charge, if OLC was in charge of this, I'd say, hey, bring it on, baby, because you're going to really improve it. It's nonstop, lackluster downgrades. One thing, though, Vash, I want to bring this to our attention here, is that if we go to the animatronics that are going into Splash Mountain, which was a part of Frontierland, now it's Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which, again, muddies up the waters, pun intended. When it comes to what Frontierland is, here are the animatronics we've got. It says this by Scott Guston. Great coverage of Disney parks out of his account. Disney showcased the new audio animatronics figures coming to Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort in the first episode of We Call It Imagineering, an all-new series from Walt Disney Imagineering that premiered today on YouTube. And it's an all-new series. Vash, you remember when we said that we were hearing that Imagineering was going to hire a new media person to handle all their stuff?
Yes.
I think this is that. And they're doing a good job so far, right? They're not calling people names or anything like that. These animatronics, which we can't play the video, folks, but these animatronics look really, really good for the most part. There are some exceptions to that. And in particular, when we are talking about the animatronics of Charlotte and the finale Tiana, I think, although they look good in a 2-second clip, I think they're a little bit uncanny valley for me. But these animatronics look really, really good. Walt Disney Imagineering appears to have done a fantastic job on them. The problem, Vash, and this has always been the problem that we've talked about, the problem is that we're going from what is essentially 70-plus animatronics to, at the very best, 24 animatronics. And we only reach 24 if we pretend that moving one's head by 2 degrees is going to count. there's a lot of stationary stuff that's going to be called an animatronic to get that to 24. It's really about 12. And so the problem here, Vash, and this is why we worry about, Beyond Big Thunder Mountain, is because, and there's Carmen Smith, by the way, the one we told you before, I don't think she's had a successful project at Disney. So we'll see how this goes. But the problem, Vash, is that when you downgrade from 70 plus bright, kinetic, energetic animatronics that make an attraction be the most popular in the world to really 12, and if we're extremely generous, 24, it's going to be a lot of scene space that doesn't have stuff in it. So it is worrisome, and that's what worries me about going more broadly to let's change everything about Frontierland because, cowboys and Indians, Native Americans, that's antiquated, and we can't do that anymore. We've got to switch everything up. I think it's just a matter of time before we get there. Vash, give me your final thoughts on all of this and what you expect to see out of not only Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but Frontierland in whatever form it remains.
Well, obviously, we were given a more of an idea of what we're actually getting for Tiana's Bayou Adventure through that video. Obviously, we can see those animatronics in action, and some of them are very, very impressive. Others are questionable. I guess we'll have to see what the final versions of those are when they actually hit their respective attractions. However, somebody was actually able to take a clip from those videos that came out yesterday, and we're able to AI upscale a board that was behind there. If you want to go ahead and share my screen and show that real fast to the audience. That's the amount of audio animatronics that we're thinking we are going to receive with this. Now, I believe it's 17 or 18 listed here. We don't necessarily have every single one of them listed here in a way that we understand fully. We're still trying to decode this.
I love that they goofed up and put the number of animatronics for everyone to see. This,
yeah.
Golly is all I can say. Golly, they're smart.
This is it.
Folks, we're going from 70 plus. I didn't know this until now. Thank you, Vash. Vash, who should we credit for this? Who managed to do this?
I have to get the name of the
Folks,
Twitter account.
We'll put credit where it's due in the video description below, because this is whoever did this. You are marvelous. Great job doing this, and like I said, golly gee whiz, aren't they smart to show us all that we're dropping from 70 plus animatronics to, what is this, Vash? What are we saying? 17 total?
Something like that, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, it looks like, that are listed on this sandwich board here. And that's consistent with what we've seen from our reporting here. Remember, Pro, I believe you covered those leaks of the animatronics featured, and
the exclusive might have been part of what got us in trouble at one point. But anyway, folks,
well, and I can just say that it appears those leaks are correct, and we'll have some coverage on
70 to 17.
Correct.
So we're not here to be mean or negative or nasty to those of you who love Splash Mountain. We're not here to be mean or negative or nasty to those of you who love Tiana's Bayou Adventure, even though it's not open yet. We're just saying 70 to 17. You can say, oh, well, these are better. That's fine. I don't know yet. We'll see. But I can tell you that 70 to 17, that catches my attention.
Here's the thing, Pro. You're assuming 17 all the time. We know from Disney's recent animatronics history that these animatronics, as impressive as they are, they go down quite a bit.
Vash,
how many
don't
people
you dare say that we're going to be dealing with Disco Tiana in 1 year? Don't you dare say it.
I'm just saying there could be some B modes in our future. How many times
TPM vids, aren't you just salivating at the idea? All right, folks, we have reached the end of this endeavor. Of course, I want to thank you all out there. You all have been so amazing in being the gigawatts that drive this channel. We can now say that the WDW Pro channel is the regularly most viewed Disney-centric news YouTube channel on the web. And it is an honor, folks. We don't take it for granted, not for a second. An attitude of gratitude to each and every one of you. 16 months in, and that's where we are. We expect to go farther and farther to infinity and beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, apparently. All right, folks, check out Vash Sky over on That Park Place, the YouTube channel, as well as very soon, That Park Place Podcast Online, T3PO. Folks, like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell, drop a comment down below, let us know your thoughts. We covet your comments. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing. No matter what they do, you get Mr. Bluebird back on your shoulder. It'll be satisfactual. Keep having fun.
What are you doing?
Well, I was feeling really behind and uneducated on all the happenings in the entertainment world. So, I was trying to work out a solution, specifically around 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And, well, this is what I came to.
That's not what that means.
Oh.
But, why wouldn't you just watch Midnight's Edge on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays? And on Tuesdays, on WDW Pro's channel, you got the Pro Show, and on Thursdays, you got That Park Place with Jonas and Vash.
Jonas? That guy sucks.
Well, feel free to jump in the chat and remind him of that regularly.
I won't feel free. I am free, baby. But I think you forgot something important.
What's that?
On Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, there's something really special that happens on Floral from Under a Rock.
Ah, right.
Under a Rock, where we don't simply talk about entertainment. We actually try to be the entertainment. Which, I mean, Floral, you're actually kind of dragging the show down, you know what I mean?
Well, theoretically, you and everyone else knows now what's happening at 12 Eastern Time throughout the week.
Yep. Now, just a point of clarity. You say 12 p.m. Eastern Time that the Midnight's Edge will be happening. Is Tom gonna commit to being on time?
Well, that's a fair question.
Okay.